Okay. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and I am back. It's been a long time since I've hit you guys with that intro. It's been probably a few years now since I've given you all that intro, but I am back. I was away for about a week and a half, uh, and just took some time to uh, breathe, took a break from all things gaming. I had hoped to do some game hunting while I was away, but unfortunately, no game hunting was done. Instead, I chose to just spend just some quality time with family, relax, take a breather, and just recalibrate. And sometimes you got to do that. You just have to recalibrate. You have to reset. You have to level set. And because of no the fact that I didn't get to do any game hunting, this box is empty. At least the empty when it comes to video games. There are no video games that I got my hands on. So uh, it sucks. Funny enough, during like the few moments of downtime that I did have while I was on vacation, I did pull up the local Facebook marketplace just to see, what the local marketplace there was looking like in terms of what people were selling and what they were asking for, for the games that they had. And surprisingly enough, people wanted even more money for less where I was. So I was on Maui, and I was like, I wonder if anyone's selling any video games on Maui. And it's funny. People were trying to sell like, oh, like one guy had like a Wii bundle with like 10 basic games, and he wanted like $2,000 for it. It was like it was crazy. You had people with like reshelled Game Boy Advance SPs wanting like $300. People wanting like $400 for their PlayStation 3. It was just like really wild. And so I quickly just realized, okay, this is not the place to do any game hunting right now. And Maui's not really a large island, so there's only like a few like shopping plazas, like shopping centers. There's like a couple near the airport. There's like a couple in Lahaina, like on the way to Lahaina, and I'm sure there's more like spread throughout the island. They do have a Walmart, they do have a Target, so you can get stuff in those stores, but it's not really like a place where you're gonna get like crazy like yard sale deals or anything like that. They did have a swap meet, which I went to. On Maui, they have a Maui swap meet every Saturday morning. But the vendors that are at that swap meet, they're pretty much like artisans, like people who make, you know, specialized cutting boards, keychains, dresses, shirts, um, I would say think more like Etsy type stuff is what you're gonna see at that swap meet. It's really nothing like super gamey. It's not like a swap meet that you would see like in Southern California, or certain parts of the country where people are selling like a bunch of like used stuff. So all in all, there really wasn't a lot of opportunity for game hunting, and I'm not mad about it. August has this August has been really slow, like really really slow for me. I've had next to no video game pickups this month, which is a little bit of a bummer, but not. At the same time, I would say that in this month, I've actually sold about 100 games or so and about 4 to 5 systems out of my collection. So I actually sold a lot more games out of my collection than I actually bought. I sold a big chunk of my PS3 collection, so that's like gone. I sold another good chunk of my PlayStation 4 collection, and I sold a good chunk of my PSP collection as well. Um, I had I had some other stuff that I got rid of as well, but those were kind of like the main things that I wound up getting rid of. I found a cash buyer who was local to me, and he showed up with cold hard cash and was willing to pay my asking and got the deal done. So that was pretty cool. Um, and kind of opened up a little bit of room on some of the shelves. Although I do see myself doing a bit more selling before the summer is officially over. I'm probably going to get some more sales out the way. Um, and, just kind of get ready for a transition into fall. Once fall comes around, the kids go back to school, fall season, all that stuff kicks in, and so you have a lot to look forward to. There are some video games that I am really excited about in September. A couple that I've been waiting for pretty much all year. I know Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is right around the corner. I know Terminator 2D is around the corner. Um, Marvel Cosmic Revelation or something. It's like there's like a Marvel superheroes beat 'em up that I think is coming out soon. I think Nova's in that game. So there's a few games that I'm pretty excited about, especially being able to play with my daughter. She's a fan of beat 'em ups, and I think it's because of how simple beat 'em ups are. So I am looking forward to that. So much that I want to share about my trip with you guys. I'll be able to share a little bit on this page, and then for the channel members, I'll be doing a deeper dive. I'll probably be doing a more in-depth video with more video clips, with more just showing you guys more of what we saw, what we did. So the channel members will get something like that. I took so much video. It is going to be uh, a lot for me to kind of condense all of that into one video, but we'll see. We'll see how I can make that happen. Um, Unfortunately, the laws in Hawaii are very strict when it comes to drone usage. So I was not able to use my drone at all. I'm sure that there were parts of the island where I could have used my drone, but those would have been very remote parts of the island that probably would have been a little difficult to get to just because, there's really no beaten path to those parts of the island. They're pretty much off road. When you're traveling with a baby and a small child, it's not, that's something I would have done like in maybe in my early 30s, late 20s. But at this stage of the game, it's really not something that I'm going to do. And I'm not in my 40s, by the way, just for those of you who are wondering. But it's just not something that I would have done. It's something I would have done pre children, so we'll say it that way. So yeah, not being able to fly the drone meant not being able to get a lot of footage that I would have liked to have gotten, especially aerial footage. All that being said, though, I was still able to get a ton of great video to share with you guys. I'll try to include some of the clips. I may do like a quick 30-second intro of clips that I'll put at the top of the video at the start, so that you guys can just kind of get a taste of what what we saw while we were there. But yeah, some of the lenses that I used while I was there, of course, I used a lot of vintage glass. So the Canon, I filmed on that. That's the 55 millimeter. The 24 millimeter, did a lot of filming on that. Did a ton of filming on the A7S. So a lot of the shots that you'll see in the quick clip that I add were shot on that. And then just so much more. There's just so much to cover. I'm not even going to try to get into everything that that was done. But overall, I am back. Glad to be back with you all. And I'll probably have something more official to share with you guys over this weekend. It's just, we are jet lagged, severely jet lagged, trying to get readjusted to the time difference. Hawaii is like, just a huge time difference from where we're at. So the family and I are just trying to get readjusted, and I'll be back with more gaming content for sure, because like I said, there are a bunch of really cool games that I want to talk about. And also want to update you guys, like give you a more detailed update on where I'm at with my collection, because there are a lot of changes to my collection. So I'll be updating you guys with that. But that does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. Appreciate everyone who's been commenting on the posts that I've been dropping. And and I'll be back with more with more details over the weekend. But until then, you all have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And that does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.